Initial verdict on the floors is what? This is what's left of the beam here. Good times. So just generally speaking, with regards to a wall, this isn't good. The neighbor just told me you gotta watch for rattlesnakes. It's really not the best case scenario. It's kind of like work. Okay. Right. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the shop. This plank flooring is in pretty rough shape, and you can see the outside there, and it's dipped down quite a bit. Brought in hammer, pry bar, and we are going to start ripping up these planks to see what it looks like underneath and what we're going to need to do to make it better. Okay, so first blush, we got a lot of dirt that's actually on the surface here, even above what used to be maybe the frame for this. Actually, that's plywood. This is plywood, I think, or at least plank wood that's rotten out. But yeah, there's a lot of maybe subfloor here that's deteriorated. So this could end up being even more of a job than what I thought. I'll pull up these planks, see what kind of subfloor is under here, see what kind of dirt has been either moved up by the critters that inhabit the lower nether regions of this shop floor. And all we can do is pull it up and find out what's underneath and make a decision after that. I'm gonna get as far as I can along here, and then this is gonna have to come out of here too. Okay, so it occurs to me that if I'm going to be taking this floor up and putting it back the same way that it came out, I should maybe think about numbering these. Otherwise, I'm gonna just be piecing things back together, having to cut things because they don't fit wherever. And in a perfect world, I would just like it all to go back the way it fits, just with a more solid frame under it. Okay. Well, we've got a good chunk of the floor out, and before I get too much farther, I'm gonna go ahead and remove this cabinet so that I have some solid floor to stand on when I get it out of here. So this thing's a bit of a monster. It's probably about 7 feet long. I think I can get it myself, but there are some artifacts, I guess, maybe treasures back here. Can't wait to see what those are all about. Maybe some old memories back there, who knows. But let's get this thing out of here. good enough for now. Well, now that that monster's out of the way, let's see what we got here for artifacts. Besides a whole bunch of rat poop. Right away, I totally see a Makita drill box. This is exactly what we used back in the day. Oh, look at that. I'm gonna keep this for old time's sake. But not too much in the way of useful artifacts. This partial poster of windshield and back glass accessories, workman's comp literature, old oil filter, some weather stripping. About the only thing of real interest and note is the Makita drill box. I had one just like this when I worked here. I'm definitely going to be hanging on to this just for old time's sake. Clean it up, maybe use it to house a tool that doesn't have its own box anymore, or some trailer parts, but this is a good one for me anyway. Now it's back to cleaning this up and getting the rest of this out of here. And here we are. The floor is out. The subfloor also is out. It was quite rotten. Here are the floor pieces numbered and lettered so that they can go back in the exact same way they came out, eliminating any new cuts and fitting problems. That's the hope anyway. And it looks like the few beams that run across here for support down under there are all swamped by dirt and rotted, so I don't know what sort of support they're going to even be. So the next job, I guess, is to excavate, get some of this dirt out of here, dig it down a little bit, and then go about setting in a new set of floor supports and then putting back the old floor. Sounds easy, but we're going to take a break and come back for that one. So the initial verdict on the floors is what? It looks like these used to be maybe railroad ties. They're very large, very thick, and I think they were just laid in the dirt to begin with. I think it was just they were laid on the dirt, and the assumption was, well, it's thick enough, it'll be fine, until it's not, and it's not. This one disintegrated on this end, and this first one over here, there's only a few feet even left that's you can call wood. Everything else is just splinters, fully disintegrated. So what I'm going to end up doing is digging out a little bit and not having these sit on the dirt, provided I can find some wood that will span this length. So that's the next project. And to that end, we've got a bit of good news we're going to go see right now. Over here, there is a pile of wood, and I asked the owners if this is usable, and they said absolutely, go ahead. So I am. Looks like a 6x6 down there that's really long and in good shape. That would be great for the floors. Here's another 4x6 at least. That will be a good portion of it. There are also some cement pieces here, pylons, that I could potentially use. This is all potential good news for the project, and I'll be able to use one of these wheelbarrows here to help cart the dirt out. This one's quite old and the wheel is flat. This one's a little nicer, and the wheel has got some air in it. So we have a winner in the wheelbarrow department. All right, I've made a discovery, and it's a good one actually. I got down a few inches, and there are concrete pieces at least on this end, that would have held that wood to keep it off of this dirt. So hopefully there are more of these. I'll just dig out some of this dirt. I'll have concrete to set this new wood on and eliminate one whole set of processes in the redoing of this floor. So fingers crossed. So about 2 hours and more than a dozen wheelbarrows full of dirt hauled out of here. Here's what I found. I've isolated the footings, which are just a conglomeration of cinder block, looks like brick over here next to a footing where this telephone pole was put in. I don't know how deep that goes. I'm not gonna bother even looking. Here's a smaller cinder block going perpendicular to the others. Some of these are okay because they were set with the hollow sides facing up, but this one was set with them sideways and it's collapsed. That one's okay. So what I'm gonna do next is continue to just sort of isolate these bits that I've found, and then I've got to get these larger mounds of dirt out of here, and then I'm going to probably then replace a good chunk of them, as many as I can, in order to better support this. I'm going to use some of those concrete, like pylons, whatever they're called, sorry, because they're solid, and I will just dig down and then I'll try and level them out as best I can. And it'll be solid for another, 100 years. Well, maybe not 100 years, but if you're going to do something, do it as best you can. So I'm just going to get this shored up, get it into really just solid shape as I can. But adding to the fun is this. Next to the door, wood support under the bottom of this wall is sort of just rotted away. Even the footing of the wall itself is kind of rotted. It's good along here till it gets to about here, and then it starts to just sort of disintegrate and it dips down in that corner. So that's something that I got to deal with, and I'm going to probably try and deal with that first before I go about putting any of these other supports in for the floor, because this is going to be a lot. So I've removed this plank here, which goes right to the corner of the door, and this is what's left of the beam in this corner. Good times. So just generally speaking, with regards to a wall, this isn't good. So what I'm going to attempt to do, bracing the door up, is jack it up and in turn jack this wall up, and then I can work underneath it. Sound good? Good. Okay, that seems to have worked. It's jacked it up a little bit, and it's actually got this wall off of this cinder block support. So I'm going to work on trying to cut it away and put in a new piece across here. neighbor just told me you gotta watch for rattlesnakes. He saw a couple like last week. Okay, several hours in now, but this free-floating wall now has a series of concrete supports underneath it in 3 different spots rather than just like one all the way around. So we'll have a look at those right now. So we've got this one here, taller one with a deeper hole that's going to be supporting this 4x4. It's going to support half of that and also the rest of this wall. We're also going to get a support here, which is right underneath the other 4x4 wall support at this seam. And then over here, closer to the door, we've got just 2 bricks because I unearthed a piece of cinder block below that that's nice and solid. This is going to get us to the height that we need, and it's going to support the corner of this door right here. So now it's time to take this piece of actual railroad tie that I found and cut to size and put it in there along that wall and lower it back down. All right, so I'm gonna call that a win, and I'm gonna call it a day. That was unexpected to have to do all of that work. I was hoping I would actually just level the floor out, get all of these, supports in place, these concrete pieces replaced with better ones that are all level and get this floor started again. But I couldn't do it without doing that wall. It was just gonna be a problem later. And since I'm in here, I decided to do it. So we did it, it's done. I'm super happy, it's super solid. It's raised everything up a tiny bit as well. So it's looking really good. So the next thing to do is to actually get to leveling these floors out with these concrete pieces down here, replacing all of these and getting the wood back into place. So well, that's next. Gonna go take a break and we'll see you next time.